Go ahead.
The point is, the people did sign the petition. And I still feel it's not about us. It's not about the 20 people that show up at the meetings, 10 for it, 10 against it. I've heard many people today say, this mayor is worth the pay. Then go to the polls in November and vote for his pay. That's what you have the right to do. Either you vote.
As I'm sure you're aware, under this form of Faulkner, if the people that feel that the mayor is feel strong enough that the mayor deserves a $70,000 salary, they can go out and get a petition to give them, so they're not disenfranchised. Everybody has the same opportunity.
And you're right, and I welcome that, and that's perfectly fine. See, I don't see anything wrong with that.
As the people went out to petition against him getting a salary, the same people that feel strong enough that he deserves a salary increase can go out and do the same thing. So
Absolutely.
then, you saying that they're disenfranchised is a little bit off, a little bit,
Well, to you. But,
to most people.
okay, well, that's your opinion.
Right.
But the point is, you know what? The signatures were on that petition. It did get certified. Regardless of what anybody says, Kevin thought it should have gone before a judge. I'm not about to pull the plug on something. If you'd like to do that, that's fine. But if you want to have this town move forward, then you should just leave it well enough alone, let the people vote, and be done.
We've been doing that for 3 years, though.
Well-
The town has been moving forward.
Well,
The
then maybe you
taxes
should-
have lowered and the sun come up every
This
single
has-
day
yeah,
since.
but then leave it on the ballot, and in November, go vote for the mayor's raise. That's fine.
We didn't vote on this yet either. Pat, would you like to say anything?
No, I move the question.
I have a comment that I want to make. Dick, do you have anything to say?
I do, but I'll hold off.
Okay, you're going to go now. Because I'm going to call the roll as soon as I'm done speaking.
Go ahead, call the roll.
Okay.
After you're done. I'm tired of...
I would like to make a statement.
Syndromes, you know?
As mentioned at the March 31st, 2014 meeting, the cover letter submitted by the petitioner specifically said, "This is a formal demand of the direct powers of the voters under the Faulkner Act Referendum Act to repeal Ordinance 1401. The petitioners went on to say in the same letter, "Please consider this a demand to the council to repeal Ordinance 1401. On top of each..." Will you let me finish speaking before you're interrupting? You do that every meeting.
Religious holiday.
On top of each and every petition submitted to the clerk, it stated the petition to oppose and repeal Ordinance 1401. As I am sure the public is aware, the petitions were signed by the Committee of Petitioners. As I have heard in the press now that some of the members of the Committee of Petitioners are now saying that they want the referendum on the ballot. However, that does not appear to be consistent with the wishes they expressed when each and every person signed that petition. As Mayor Murata stated at the March 24th, 2014 meeting, the township has a lot of work to do. To continue to focus on this issue detracts from the other township business. Since both the petitioners and the mayor requested to repeal Ordinance 1401, it would be a disservice to the people in this community not to do as they asked. At this point, I'd like to call the roll.
Councilmember Kadesh?
No.
Councilmember Murphy?
No.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes, and I would just like to point out that, in fact, the responsibility of the council is to set the salary for the mayor. It's one of the prime responsibilities. Certainly, in my belief, we tried to do it once, we tried to do it twice. Mr. Kadesh seems to be a little late in remembering the meetings that we had in discussing that, and I commented on that earlier meetings, that this was supposed to be a stepped process, not one where it would be brought about in one single move when we started. I think I was very clear, as a matter of fact. It was cited in the minutes that I read again this evening, that the mayor was concerned about the condition of the township when he took office because of the fact that previous administration had been somewhat lax in its responsibilities, to the extent that over $600,000 worth of bills were unappropriated. So at that point, we had talked about setting the salary at a lower level at his wish, against the wish of myself and Councilman Wetzel and Councilman Lynch, and also at that time Councilman Dunn. And I believe at that point Councilman Kadish, but I know he was there, but did not, let him fill in the blank on that. But what I think has happened has been a terrible perversion of a law that was designed to avoid excesses. A terrible perversion of taking a simple math fact of 30,000 and escalating it 1 year to 67% when the raise was considered to be 20,000, and then 133% when it was asked for 70,000. Certainly neither of those figures are unreasonable, given the responsibilities that the office of the mayor, per the administrative code, was designed and was stipulated. But by virtue of a simple math fact that you're working with a low base, people in this community were bamboozled. They were harangued, and they were told about how outrageous a 67% or 133% raise was made. I don't believe the Faulkner Act was designed to stop this type of council action. Were we to be raising it to 500,000, there's a different story. It doesn't become a question of where we as a council need to be. As a council, we had talked about this, we thought we were doing the right thing, and we counted on the goodwill of the people as we moved forward. Unfortunately, we did not countenance, we did not count on, did not anticipate the spite, the vendetta, the extreme meanness, mean-spiritedness
Mr. President,
of
point of order.
people who were...
I thought we were in the middle of a roll call.
We are, and I'm voting with a reason, who were not in favor of this particular action. Thank you.
Your vote?
It is yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Yeah, I don't understand the petitioners trying to burn the candle at both ends. I don't know what game you're playing, but you're trying to appease the people who signed the petition, and you're trying to appease the people who didn't sign the petition. What is your purpose? You want your cake and you want to eat it too. I vote yes.
Council President Lynch?
Emphatically, yes.
Motion carries to 1401.
At this time, we have appointments to boards and commissions. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. President. Excuse me, I'd like to start with item 15. I've offered for your consideration 2 appointments to the Environmental Commission. Both are terms that will expire 12/31/2016. You've been provided in your package the applications of Ms. Alyssa Portrero and Doreen Edwards, and I would appreciate an action of the council.
May I have a motion to appoint Alyssa Potrero Botero and Doreen Edwards to an unexpired term which will expire on 12/31/2016.
Motion.
Motion made by Councilmember Murphy. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Wetzel. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Yes.
Council President Lynch?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Before I make the next nomination, I wonder if you'll bear with me for a bit. This is a commercial for the people who live in Vernon. We have several openings on several of our boards and commissions that are still available. If any of you are interested in serving, please draw an application from the website, fill it out, forward it to the municipal clerk. It includes the Recreation Committee, it includes the Historic Preservation Committee, it includes the Economic Development Advisory Committee. There are openings, so please bear with me for the commercial, but any who are interested, I would love the opportunity to talk with you and to, in fact, make an appointment with the advice and consent of the council. Thank you for bearing with me. My next appointment is a neighbor and friend, someone who I believe will be a tremendous asset to the Board of Recreation. I'd like to nominate Mr. William Shapiro. Again, his application has been forwarded to you. Mr. Shapiro is a retired educator with a master's in urban education. He also has coached. He presently is involved in refereeing for youth programs throughout the county. Any who know him know that he will be a tremendous asset to our Recreation Committee.
So moved.
May I have a motion to appoint William Shapiro to an unexpired term which will expire on 12/31/15? Motion made by Councilmember Kadesh. Can I have a second by Councilmember Rizzuto? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Kadesh?
Yes.
Councilmember Murphy?
Yes.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
Yes.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Yes.
Council President Lynch?
Yes.
Thank you, members.
Council comments, Councilmember Murphy?
I'm good. Thanks.
Councilmember Kadesh?
I just want to respond to the fact that probably need a permit for fireworks again this year. I went back and did some research, and we went to first reading of the ordinance for the two fire departments in, I think it was December of '95. We went to the second reading in February of '96, and as I remember it that night, they made it a part of the permitting process that year two departments would have the advantage over any private to raise funds. So it was basically a fundraising effort, but it was made part of the permitting process in the fire marshal's office. So if we wanted to find that, I'm sure that's where we would find it. I went through all the ordinances of those years, and that's what I discovered.
Councilmember Rizzuto?
I have no further comments, thank you.
Councilmember Wetzel?
Yeah, I just have a few short things. I want to compliment the mayor for hiring Dave Ragnetti for the computer position. He's a former student of mine. His wife also works here in the tax office. She's a student. I know, close. And she was a cheerleader when I was a football coach.
very heavily, I want you to know.
Also, thank you for moving the potty at the dog pound. It is now off the beaten track somewhere, and the people on, that asked me about this say thank you. Also, a little historical fact, 4-1-4-1-4 will never appear again for 1,000 years. To each and every one of you, Happy Easter.
Thank you.
And I have something to say. Tomorrow, as everybody knows, it's tax day. But in my house, it's the day that I say thank you to my wife. 25 years ago, she married me on April 15th. And then now I go home and get a beating for not being home tonight for dinner, so. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Motion to adjourn.
Move. Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Good night, everyone.
Yeah.